Thriller of all the songs on the album. And so I came up with an idea of thinking that I really want to change, metamorphosis into some other creature.
Fame found him before he even understood what fame was. Long before the world called him the king of pop, before the glove, before the stadiums, before the records that would never be broken. There was simply a small boy with a microphone and a voice that sounded impossibly grown. This is the biography of Michael Jackson, not just a timeline of success, but a transformation from disciplined child performer to the most influential pop icon the modern world has ever seen.
Everybody spank. I never beat Michael in my life, but I did spank the family once in a while.
He was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, into a large working-class family where music was woven into daily life. The Jackson household was loud, competitive, and structured around ambition. His father, Joe Jackson, believed his children had extraordinary potential, and he pushed them with intensity that bordered on severity.
He said, Eddie, pull it up like I was working for him.
Rehearsals were not optional. Precision was demanded. Excellence was expected. By the age of 5, Michael was already performing publicly alongside his brothers. What separated him was not only talent but instinct. He did not just sing notes correctly, he performed emotion. He moved with rhythm that felt natural rather than taught. When the group officially became the Jackson 5, it was clear that something unusual was happening. After signing with Motown, the group released a string of hits that dominated the charts. Audiences were captivated by the energy of the young lead singer whose smile lit up television screens across America. Yet while fans saw charisma, the reality behind the scenes was relentless touring schedules, strict discipline.
What school do you go to? Do you go to a school?
Yeah, I go to private school in the Valley.
Do the kids stare at you because you're so rich and famous?
And little room for ordinary childhood experiences. Even as a child, Michael displayed a quiet intensity. He studied performances by legends. He analyzed choreography. He watched how crowds reacted. While others might have been satisfied with early fame, he seemed driven by something deeper, a need to perfect every movement, every vocal run, every detail. As the 1970s progressed, he began to outgrow the boundaries of being just the youngest member of a successful family group. His voice matured. His artistic ambition expanded. He wanted creative control. He wanted to experiment with sound and storytelling. And that desire marked the beginning of his transformation.
Rejoicing way, because I love it. You have to like it to be in it this long.
Yeah.
Or you go crazy. It's so much. We've been traveling the world and making records and just having a great time.
His collaboration with producer Quincy Jones became one of the most significant partnerships in music history. Together, they crafted a new sonic identity for him. The 1979 album Off the Wall introduced audiences to a Michael who was confident, polished, and stepping into adulthood. It blended disco funk and pop with seamless sophistication. The album's success proved that he could stand alone, but what followed would elevate him beyond anything previously imagined. In 1982, he released Thriller. It was not simply an album. It was a cultural reset. The production was layered and innovative. The vocals were sharp yet emotional. The marketing strategy was revolutionary. Music videos were no longer promotional afterthoughts. They were cinematic events.
Billie Jean Michael Jackson!
Boy, the American public, and I thank all the disc jockeys and everybody. I love you so much, and thank you.
The short film for Thriller turned horror aesthetics into pop spectacle. Billy John delivered mystery and groove. Beat It fused rock with pop in a way that widened his audience dramatically. He was no longer just popular. He was global. Television networks that once limited representation of black artists began airing his videos in heavy rotation because demand was impossible to ignore. He became one of the first truly worldwide pop superstars, transcending language and geography. His stage performances were meticulously choreographed. Every spin, every toe stand, every pause was deliberate. The moonwalk, first introduced to a mass audience in 1983, became an international symbol. It looked effortless yet required immense control. That single movement cemented his reputation as an innovator. Dance was not an accessory to his music, it was part of the storytelling. As the decade continued, albums like Bad expanded his dominance. He embraced sharper visuals and a more assertive image. The Bad World Tour shattered attendance records, drawing millions across continents. He appeared larger than life, yet interviews often revealed a soft-spoken, almost shy personality. This contrast fascinated the public. On stage, he commanded attention with explosive energy. Off-stage, he seemed introspective, gentle, and at times vulnerable. The dichotomy added to his mystique. He was not only focused on performance. He demonstrated business awareness unusual for artists of his era. He negotiated contracts strategically and sought ownership where possible. His acquisition of publishing rights to major song catalogs signaled that he understood long-term power in the industry.
I couldn't refuse to give this award tonight because nobody has influenced me more than this man right here.
While some saw him as purely artistic, he was equally calculating in protecting his empire. At the same time, physical changes began drawing increasing media attention. Discussions about cosmetic surgery and skin tone dominated tabloids. Michael stated that he had vitiligo, a condition affecting pigmentation, but public speculation rarely softened. Headlines became sensational. Stories blurred fact with rumor. The intense scrutiny added psychological pressure. His lifestyle choices, including the creation of Neverland Ranch, were interpreted in dramatically different ways. To supporters, it symbolized generosity and a desire to create joy. To critics, it appeared eccentric. The more unusual the image became, the more media coverage intensified.
Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
Through the 1990s, he continued releasing music, including the album Dangerous, which incorporated New Jack Swing and contemporary production styles. He adapted rather than resisting change. Songs like Black or White carried messages about unity and equality, reflecting social awareness beneath the pop exterior, yet controversy began overshadowing artistry. Allegations in the early 1990s brought legal and public challenges that would alter his trajectory permanently. Although he denied wrongdoing and was never criminally convicted in that era, the accusations damaged his public standing. Trust once cracked is difficult to fully restore. Despite this, his fan base remained fiercely loyal. International audiences continued filling stadiums. In many parts of the world, his popularity remained untouched. His humanitarian efforts, including support for numerous charities and global causes, often received less attention than controversy, yet they formed a consistent part of his identity. As the new millennium approached, the music landscape shifted dramatically. Hip-hop, electronic influences, and new pop figures redefined charts. Michael released new material but faced increasing challenges both commercially and legally. A high-profile trial in 2005 once again placed him under global scrutiny. After months of testimony, he was acquitted. The verdict closed a legal chapter but did not end public debate. Financial strains also emerged. Lavish spending, business disputes, and legal expenses reportedly created debt pressures. The narrative of untouchable wealth faded.
What happened when they arrested you? What did they do to you?
They manhandled me very roughly. My shoulder is dislocated, literally. It's hurting me very badly. I'm in pain all the time.
He relocated internationally for periods of time, living more privately and avoiding the constant American media cycle. Then, in 2009, he announced a series of comeback concerts in London under the banner This Is It. The announcement reignited excitement worldwide. Tickets sold out almost instantly, demonstrating that public fascination remained powerful. Rehearsal footage later revealed an artist still deeply invested in perfection. Even after decades of fame, he scrutinized lighting cues, vocal harmonies, and dance formations with relentless focus, but the comeback never reached the stage. On June 25, 2009, he died unexpectedly at age 50. The news reverberated across continents. Tributes flooded television and radio. His catalog surged in sales once again.
We can tell you this is what's being reported by KTLA. Apparently, Michael Jackson suffered cardiac arrest this afternoon. He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center.
For many, the shock forced reflection on his cultural impact beyond controversy. His memorial service became one of the most watched broadcasts in history. Fellow artists, family members, and friends spoke about his generosity, creativity, and sensitivity. For a moment, the world seemed unified in remembrance. In the years following his death, documentaries and investigations revisited old allegations, keeping debate alive. Public opinion remains divided. Some view him primarily through the lens of his artistic genius. Others focus on unresolved questions. That tension has become part of his legacy. Yet musically, his influence is undeniable. He reshaped the concept of a pop album rollout.
Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine.
He elevated music videos into narrative art. He blurred racial and genre boundaries in ways that permanently altered the industry. Contemporary performers across genres acknowledge borrowing elements from his stagecraft, vocal layering, and dance techniques. From a child star singing soul-infused melodies to a global icon commanding record-breaking tours, his transformation was extraordinary. He did not simply grow into fame, he engineered it, refined it, and expanded it until it encompassed the globe. The biography of Michael Jackson is not linear triumph. It is ambition mixed with vulnerability, brilliance intertwined with controversy, global adoration shadowed by intense scrutiny. His journey forces a broader question about celebrity itself. What happens when a person becomes myth while still alive? How does one preserve humanity under relentless observation? He once said that he just wanted to create magic, and for millions he did. Whether through the opening bass line of Billie Jean, the choreography of Thriller, or the emotional delivery of ballads, he crafted moments that feel timeless. From a disciplined child in Gary to the most recognizable entertainer on earth, his rise was historic. His challenges were public. His legacy remains powerful, complicated, and deeply embedded in global culture. The child star became the king of pop, and the world is still trying to fully understand the man behind the crown.